Season 6 of Overwatch 2, aka Overwatch 2 Invasion, has been out for 2 weeks now. And the question I'm going to try to answer today is this season worth your time and money? Let's find out. Hey guys, I'm Damesies from the Omnic Post. Every season I get those same questions. People are asking me, is this season worth it? Which is a very general question. But what they mean is it worth coming back to Overwatch 2? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my money? Which have become questions that are increasingly more difficult to answer. This community is more divided than ever before. That review bombing that we saw 2 weeks ago over on Steam is a good example. While mainly on how much louder and how much more time the people that don't like the game actually have. And I've been talking about my personal standpoint aplenty. But even if I don't agree with some of the pushback and some of the comments that I've been seeing and hearing, I do recognize that this stem from genuine disappointment. So the answer to those 3 questions I mentioned earlier lies within 2 things: the actual content for this season and your personal willingness to move forward. And before you start commenting with moving forward, I'm not talking about full acceptance, but to try and actually balance your opinion based on what is in front of you. To give things an honest try and to recognize the bad and the good. The thing is, I cannot help you with that. All I can do is give my honest opinion, which should get us 90% there, even if you do not agree with me. But the last 10% is whatever you are holding on to or what you let go. In other words, the final call is completely yours. This is starting to sound like one of those spiritual guiding tapes from back in the 70s. If I dropped the occasional far out, man, it would have been complete. But anyways, Overwatch Invasion is an important moment in many ways. As I've discussed in my previous video, it is both the end of early access, and it is in a way the proper release of Overwatch 2. It still isn't what we expected to see based on what they announced back in 2019, but I'm pretty confident that this isn't what the development team had envisioned when they announced it back in 2019. In other words, nobody got what they hoped for. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's simply an evolution of the expectation for everybody involved. We got our first PvE missions, which actually hit a few more buttons for me personally than I expected. I made a whole video about this topic and not everybody agree with me, but you know. But to make a long story short, the lore part hit me right in the feels. The gameplay needs work, but it is a start. The good thing is that they are listening, so share your feedback in a humane way. I will see all of this evolve in the direction that we want it to. The Underworld event mission. Well, it's nice to see them recycle some of that hero mission content. But after 2 or 3 runs, I was basically done. Much like the archives back in the day. The new game mode Flashpoint. I feel like that mode is confusing a lot of people right now. I've seen reactions that go all over the place, but in general, people seem to like it. Some of the comments are really valid, like, well, we need more maps, clearly. And it can feel really slow like a walk simulator on some heroes. While others are temporary issues, like being confused on where you need to go. I think that is an issue that needs both a little help, but mainly time. We need to get to know these maps, and we need to get to know the mode. It is different. The maps, by the way, look amazing. They are so huge. Siravasa has these beautiful landscapes, these view lines, while New Junk City is stacked with amazing details. I'm actually working on some videos on both those maps that should be going live while I'm on holiday. So while I'm, eating some good Greek food, having a drink, swimming in the sea, I'll make sure you guys get those videos. Enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, of course. Next up, the new hero, Iari. This is one of the best heroes they've added to Overwatch ever. She has a kit that brings something new to the support class and the game in general, but it fits Overwatch like a glove. It feels like you're discovering that one last complete Dorito in a bag that you thought were all crumbs. And yeah, she was a little overtuned at the start, but it was manageable, depending on who you ask. Look, there's always going to be people that are upset with any hero that counters their main. But that's the game. You need to accept that defeat is a part of this game. And that Genji is not the only DPS hero. This week she joined competitive and she got nerfed. Most of the changes are understandable, but I think we need another 2 weeks to fully understand what is going on, what the impact is going to be. I'll keep you posted. And apart from the gameplay, Iari is just a fresh feeling addition to the roster. She comes from a completely new group, she has her own unique and rather dramatic angle, and in my opinion she might be an important part of everything that is to come. I've always said that Sigma is the most powerful character in all of the lore. I think he's purposely being kept aside a little bit right now, because he has some godlike powers. And Iari might be his counterpart, the only one that is strong enough to face him one-on-one. If you would compare Sigma to Thanos, I think Iari would be Captain Marvel. including the whole globe. He's the black hole, she's the sun. It's the same level of power, just in a different state. And the rest of us, we are stuck in the middle. Next up, the hidden gem of this season, the progression system. It's a feature that we don't fully comprehend right now, and it still needs a little work. We're not there just yet. But the basis is strong, it has a lot of potential, and you can already see the effect on the game and the community in general. Again, a topic I made a whole video about, so go check it out. Okay, now we're entering a murkier zone. At this point, your personal opinion is going to weigh in a little more. The Battle Pass. Objectively spoken, this Battle Pass has less thematical skins than the previous one did. If that is a good or a bad thing is up to you. One thing that I want to point out is that till a few weeks before the release of Season 6, they were not going to make the mythical skin a tiered thing like they did in Season 5. They were just going to put it all back to 80. But the feedback on that system in Season 5 was so good that they last minute decided to kind of spread Anna's skin again like they did in Season 5. Showing again that they're listening and reacting to what we're asking. About the mythic skin, the Anna skin is nice. I think whoever made that skin designed it. Good job. But I'm still missing that impact that I saw in the Season 1 skin for Genji. When I saw that skin the first time, I was blown away, and I'm not a Genji player. But it was so customizable, there were so many different things to this skin, it looked so awesome. It had that what the thing that I have not seen in any of the other skins up till now. I don't know if it's a resource thing, might be. And when it comes to the other skins in the Battle Pass, well, as always, they're a hit or a miss. For me personally, more misses than hits, but that's a matter of taste. I love the Torbjorn skin, because it is a Warcraft reference, the Cassidy and the Symmetra skin. The Zarya skin is nice. Pharah skin freaks the hell out of me with that Beetlejuice small head. The rest, it's not my favorite Battle Pass, but again, my personal preference. Next up, hero masteries that we haven't seen, those will be releasing on September 5th. And the events, well, I'm kind of worried about the events. Especially the anniversary event. I think it's not going to be the same thing as it was before. But we'll see. Team 4 might have some extra stuff up their sleeve for this season. And who knows, there might be an ace in there. But overall, what is the verdict? Is this the time to come back to Overwatch? In my opinion, there is no better time to start playing Overwatch again than now. If it's not for the content that is in the season, then it must be because this feels like a new start. And sure, it's not a running start. It will take them a few seasons to catch up. But this is definitely a good start. Kind of feels like when your family is about to go to Disneyland. Your dad stands up from his seat. He claps his hands and he says, "Ja, Semnikia," which is my local dialect for, "Are you guys ready to go to Disneyland?" You know it's still going to be a bit of a drive, but you're going to Disneyland. Overwatch Invasion is definitely worth your time. And the way you spend your money, well, that's up to you. For me personally, it was value for money. And not just because of the PvE. But I'm not your dad. You need to look at all of this content I just talked about. And decide for yourself if you're going to spend 15 bucks on this season or on a medium pizza with pineapple. But tell me, what do you think? Is this season worth your time? Let me know in the comments. Join me during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesTV and make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch.